So pursuant to Chapter 2020 of the Act of 2021, certain COVID-19 protection measures were extended as they relate to MGL Section 30A, Section 20, the open meeting law. So this meeting of the City of Westfield Conservation Commission will be conducted via remote participation. Specific information can be found on the City of Westfield website, www.cityofwestfield.org. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen to the meeting may do so by tuning into channel 15 or channel 12, or online at westfieldtv.org, or online at youtube.com/Westfield Community Programming Channel. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we're unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the city's website an audio recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. So we'll do a roll call. Carl.
I'm here.
Jim.
Here.
Alex.
Here.
Bob.
Here.
Tom.
Yes.
Okay, and Cliff's not here yet. Okay. Open participation. Any member of the public would like to address the commission on any item not on the agenda. All right, seeing none. Item 3, public hearings, notices of intent. There are none at this time. Item 4, public meetings. Again, RDAs. So A0 Timber Swamp Road. So in accordance with provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, a public meeting will be held on January 11th, 2022, 6:30 p.m. by virtual meeting regarding a request for determination submitted by Lucky 7 Jeff Baska for the restoration of the 100-foot buffer zone that was cleared without a permit, and if the work that is proposed is subject to jurisdiction under the Wetlands Protection Act and the Westfield Wetlands Ordinance. Location of the proposed work is 0 Timber Swamp Road in Westfield. Again, Jim and Carl, you went out a site visit at this location?
We did, yes.
Okay. And we have a proponent for this action.
Good evening, folks. Scott Jordan from Ecotech,
Welcome,
representing
Scott.
the applicant. Thank you.
And Mike Schaefer from Huntley.
Thank
Hello.
you.
Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, thanks. Again, my understanding is that a few of you folks met Art Allen from my office last Wednesday on the site. And you wanted to take a look at the area that we're proposing for restoration. Just to refresh everyone's memories, there was some clearing done on the site, tree clearing, no grubbing, but approximately 8,400 square feet of the tree clearing turns out was in the buffer zone. So we recognize that, and we put together a planting plan, put some woody plants in there, 10 shrubs, 10 saplings. In between the stumps, many of those stumps should regenerate. So we feel like the planting plan should be sufficient to establish some more woody vegetation in the area. I think you folks also looked at the building location. The second part of our RDA is just to confirm that the proposed development is outside the buffer zone and not subject to jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any comments from Carl or Jim concerning your visit?
Carl, you want to lead off, or?
You're muted, Carl.
Yeah, I guess I can lead off. Thanks, Colleen. Yeah, the area that was cleared was done by not by the proponent for the project itself, and they're looking to replace some of the plantings there, so to restore the area that had been clear cut. Again, the trees were dropped, but the stumps were not removed. So the stumps are all still there. And the building itself will be well outside the buffer zone for the area wetland. It's an area that goes under the street, street. There's a culvert, and then it just sort of ends. It appears that the soil is relatively sandy, and that the stream, such as it is, just sort of goes underground at that point. I don't know. Yeah, Jim, whether you wanted to add anything to
No,
that?
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. They explained how they're going to remove any slash that's there and stabilize everything. Went through the signage where that's generally going to go. We didn't have the exact, at least I don't believe we had the exact plan of where the signs are going to go, except they're every 50 feet, I believe. And the last thing that,
Just so you
yeah,
know,
maybe Michael could explain that a little bit more, exactly where they're going, or did we miss the actual physical plan with the location of the signs?
the signs are going to go along the 100-foot buffer every 50 feet,
Okay,
as per the document that Scott had submitted to you. So, and a copy of the sign was shown on the back of the document there. And we hadn't
That's right.
installed them yet because we wanted you to look at everything first. But now that you've done so, we would definitely do that.
okay. And then yeah, I mean, everything was pretty much as stated. They're trying to get a handle on the destruction that was done by their vendor, and I certainly understand what they're doing. And the back, Michael, I think is the back to the plan on the actual plantings you're going to be doing. I missed that, or if that was on a plan, or how we're going to deal with that.
Scott, you want to interject there?
Yeah, there was a narrative provided by my office, Scott Morrison from my office. It's titled Timber Swamp and Summit Lock Roads Buffer Zone Restoration Protocol. I'm not sure if Colleen has that or can distribute that, but yeah, it's basically a planting table, 10 saplings and 10 shrubs, and describes to be planted during the growing season, and it describes to install the signs every 50 feet along the buffer zone.
Colleen,
Well,
I
Can
do
I
have it
ask-
right here if you want me to share it.
I appreciate that. If you want to share it, we could pull it up also. I didn't know if the committee had copies in
Is that-
hand.
Okay, give me-
Mr. Chairman, a
Sorry.
question for Scott. Just does that have an actual location of where the plantings will go? Or
No,
is it just a
no.
global narrative?
Yeah, between the stumps.
Okay.
Because we do anticipate, like I said, the stumps should regenerate over time. Pretty short order, probably maples especially.
All right, are you guys seeing this or is it not?
We can see it.
Okay. You need me to make it bigger or anything?
That would be helpful.
Okay, let me see what I can do here. Sorry, I'm not,
hey, Colleen, if you want to give me control, I can bring it up for you.
I can do that. Hang on. Let me get out of this, right? Stop share.
Way to go, Colleen.
Sorry, just doing this for the first
You're
time. So did I stop sharing? Okay.
Can you see my screen okay?
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
All right, so let's go down to the end here.
At the end.
There you go. So here is the remediation restoration protocol. Go ahead, Scott.
Yeah, so as I stated, it basically just specifies when the planting will be done during the growing season. To select 10 saplings chosen from, we chose some species that are present indigenous to the site, and 10 shrubs similarly indigenous to the site, the general area, and those will just be popped in between the stumps.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Might just ask, if I could ask a question. I thought we were talking about, so we're just taking the logs and slash out, we're leaving the stumps in place, correct?
Correct.
That, and that was
Or-
yeah, that was my understanding also.
Yeah, we don't want to disturb the earth there. So it should naturalize nicely.
Yeah, gentlemen, is there a reason to remove the fallen trees? The stumps stay. You're planning to remove the wood. I mean, and you're probably smarter than me about this. Aren't there benefits to having that rest on the ground and provide habitat for insects and bugs and stuff like that?
Yeah, to an extent. But there were several in the area. So, if you want us to leave some logs down, we can certainly do that. But we don't want
I would
piles of it.
vote. I would vote for that rather than having you rake the site. I think it should be left somewhat natural. I think it will promote a better environment. I didn't make the site visit, and for that I apologize. But I'm very familiar with Timber Swamp Road. It's one of the areas that I've helped in the last few years on Earth Day, as far as cleanup. Being a dark road, it attracts a lot of beer cans, a lot of trash coming out of cars. Nice spot to get rid of things that you don't want to have. So I am familiar with it. But yeah, I think if the rest of the commission is in agreement with me that we could leave it, not all of it, but leave enough that it looks natural.
Well, we need to provide some room to install the planting. So, we could leave a couple of trees down.
And the slash.
planting-
It's only 8,400 square feet. So,
Yeah, and you can dig a hole on either side of a fallen log. So, the planting specific location, I don't think is that, needs to be that pinpointed.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good idea to leave some of that behind, I think. Any other questions or comments from the commission?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to quantify that a little bit. How about 50% removal of the slash? If everybody's okay with it.
You're about logs or slash, because a lot of the slash,
I mean, there was a lot. There were some heavy duty logs in there,
yeah.
and I mean, obviously there was some slash, but I agree with Tom, but I just want to get a number on it so it's measurable.
How about half logs and half slash?
well, just so you know, that a lot of the slash was stockpiled and things like that, and it kind of looks like I don't know if it shows in this picture or not. You can kind of see where a lot of the slash is all stockpiled and stuff. So
Yeah.
like, leaving logs and stuff like that, or some of the smaller slash, that's certainly not a problem. We don't have to make it, I wouldn't recommend we necessarily pick it clean, but there are stacks of slash that are going to look like they were stocked or stockpiled.
Yeah.
You're not talking about leaving that stuff, right? You're more talking about like leaving this stuff here, but I'm pointing, I can see my mouse.
That's
Right.
my thought after seeing it. And Carl, Tom, you okay with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I would
questions?
agree with removing about half of that would help, I think, and leaving some would be good too. So yeah, I'm good with 50%.
Yeah. Right. Any other questions?
No, I'm comfortable with that, and I do like your selection of plant material, by the way.
Oh, great.
Thanks, Bob. Any questions from the audience concerning this particular project?
I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing now.
All right, thank you. All right, seeing none, okay, entertain a motion to close the public meeting.
Could I say one thing, David?
Yes.
The intent of the submission was also for the project itself.
Okay,
I can bring that up on screen again here too for you. Let me figure out how to do that.
yeah. Well, I think Carl and Jim recognize that it certainly is outside of our jurisdiction.
Okay. Sorry. Yep.
That's correct.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that did you call for a public comment, David?
I did already, yes.
In that case, I'll make a motion that we close the hearing.
The public meeting. Okay.
meeting.
Yeah, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Tom,
I'll vote yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes,
Alex,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes. Okay, do we have a motion on the recommendation? Okay. Someone,
okay, I'll make a motion that on the recommendation, and if I can summarize it, and if the board will correct me, it's about 50% of the slash and the logs will be removed. And also the logs that were stacked that haven't put there already, I'm okay with those being moved, because they're certainly not natural in that location.
/2. Stack slash.
Okay, yeah, and this backslash.
there are other recommendations listed as item 7 on your agenda. So we need to include those as well, Jim.
I'm sorry, it was. Okay, okay, notify Conservation Office or Chairman Doe when the work is starting and is completed. All stumps shall remain in place. The downed logs and slash piles, add a 50% reduction, as we talked about, may remain in the buffer zone to enhance habitat, reduce equipment in the buffer. Signs to be installed every 50 feet at the limit of the buffer zone prior to work, and no heavy equipment shall be used in the buffer zone. And the planting shall be done at the beginning 4:15 to 6:30 or end 9/1 to 11:15 of the growing season of 2022. Also, that this be a -3, that the work described in the request is within an area subject to protection under the act, but will not remove, fill, dredge, or alter that area. Therefore, the work does not require the filing of a notice of intent.
Can I ask one other thing? In your conditions there, would the owner be allowed to begin removing those logs and slash now while the ground is frozen for less disturbance rather than waiting for the spring?
Yeah, well, excuse me. Unfortunately, the meeting is actually closed, but
I beg pardon,
I
sorry.
think the limitation for the plant for the spring and strictly refers to planting. I don't think it refers to removing the slash.
Yeah,
My interpretation. How about the rest of the commission?
Yeah, we'll rely on your best judgment, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Jim, you might want to add that, at least it was recommended by Colleen that that this is a -2 for the building and composting, and then -3 for the restoration. Your motion was not clear about that.
Right.
no, because I didn't mention it. So if I will be comfortable with incorporating that also, as you stated.
In that case, I'll make a second to the motion.
So that all set, Colleen, you've got that straightened out?
Perfect. Yep, perfect.
Thanks,
Thank you
Colleen.
very much. Okay. Further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Tom,
I'll vote yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes,
Alex,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You all have a very nice evening.
Thank
Right,
you.
good luck.
Good night, thank you.
Okay, item 5, enforcement. A, 33 Castle Hill Road. Again, we did send a letter out to the address, and we did get a reply. We got some photographs from a neighbor. Colleen has those photographs if you want to post those.
Here, hang on. Is it showing?
Yes,
Okay. That's the first one.
yep. Again, this was a problem with a steep hill right behind the house, and they had, whoops,
I have no idea what just happened there. I'm sorry.
there you go. They had erosion at the top of the hill, and they came in and dumped sediment and soil to fill it in, and it trickled down to the bottom of the hill. So again, we had them put in the erosion controls, as you see there. They also put that netting on there. Again, we talked about that at the last meeting. Next photograph.
Is it there?
Yes. Oh,
Okay,
no, not the next one yet. No.
okay, so let's do, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this. I apologize.
Okay.
Share screen, no practice. That's what the problem is. Share, okay. There's the next one,
All right. So
Right?
this is right.
okay.
So this is the top, right at the top of the hill where they had to put erosion control as well. That's where the initial erosion was, right at that spot. I think there's one more picture.
There is, let me see. Oops, I gotta stop sharing that other one. Share screen, I apologize again. Share, there we go. Oh, that's the same one, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, the two are very similar. So it's kind
Okay.
of the same pictures. So, but I'll stop sharing and,
All right.
and
Well, I don't see Mr. Kopacz.
he's under Tim and Sheila.
Oh, okay.
And I actually kind of didn't expect him here tonight because I've heard that he's ill.
Okay.
So, but they did put in the erosion controls and everything. And right now, that's pretty much all that he can do, you know?
Yeah, with the weather the way it is. Yeah.
So do you guys want to continue this till like March or something? So he doesn't have to keep coming back all the time because the ground's frozen now and
Right. Yeah, there are other things in the enforcement order that, they really have to wait until the spring. So that'll be a good idea. Just wait and have them come back in March and not have to
Okay.
come to every meeting.
right.
Mr.
Right,
Kopacz,
so-
do you have any comments or any questions?
I'm his neighbor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Okay.
told him I sit in for him because he's got COVID. His
Okay.
wife had scanned him to his bedroom.
Oh, no. And you took the pictures, correct?
He did.
He did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, it looks stable now. So I think, we'll probably just let it sit until the springtime when we can address it, once the soil has thawed out.
It's not in a flood zone or anything like that, David.
There's a
There's just a-
wetland at the base of the hill, but we've
Yeah.
got the erosion controls in between the wetland and the sediment. So it should hold it there until, we can do something in the springtime. And, with the weather out and the ground solid, there's really not much we can do at the moment. So.
Yep.
So,
I agree.
all right.
Okay, so I need a motion to continue it until like the first meeting in March, which would be March,
March
The-
8th, I believe.
the 8th.
All right. So do we have a motion?
So I'll make a motion that we continue this until March 8th.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. Any further discussion? So Colleen, you'll send a letter out to Mr. Kopacz about that. So,
Yep.
and his neighbor, and they can catch up with us again in March.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. All in favor, Bob,
I'll vote yes.
Jim,
Yep, yes.
all right, Tom,
I'll vote yes.
okay, Carl,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. So thank you very much for joining with us, and hopefully he'll get better soon.
Yeah, send him tell him we appreciate his working with us, Tim.
All right, thank you, Tim. All right, item B, 300 Union Street.
All right, Armin emailed me, this was yesterday, sorry, he emailed me yesterday asking for the list of consultants again, which I sent him. He states that he is planning to comply with the commission, but there has been no progress at this time. I did, when I sent him the list of consultants, I did ask him if he was attending tonight's meeting, and he just sent me back, thank you, and that was it. So I
Okay.
don't know what you guys want me to do at this point.
Well, let's just give him some time to get a consultant and then go from there, I think.
Okay,
I mean, he's not doing any more work out there, is he?
no, no,
Okay,
not that I've seen, no.
right. What's the wishes of the commission concerning this?
Could we have a summary of what the issue is there? Issues?
He did some filling in within 50 feet of a wetland to make a parking lot, to make up his parking lot bigger.
Okay,
So, and then we noticed when we went out there on the site visit, we noticed that there might be more wetlands off to the side of the, the property is that it's the concrete place that's on Union Street, right next to Westfield Feed.
Okay,
So it's
Oh,
direct,
okay.
so
Yeah,
it's on
yeah.
that side, and
Got
then they put in the rocks there,
yeah,
and then there's, behind them, there's a very clear wetland. It actually, to me, it kind of looks like a vernal pool back there.
yeah.
And so, and they did work right up to that, so that's what the issue is.
Thank you.
What Colleen did not mention is that this has been going on for what? Couple of months, 3 months?
Yeah. Since
And
before
thus-
Meredith left. I think that Meredith and I went out there before Thanksgiving
Okay,
about it. So, because it was right before she left. So it must have been maybe the week of Thanksgiving or maybe the week after Thanksgiving. So, because it was literally right before she left. So, and her last date was December 1st. So it's been that long.
So Colleen's concerns, is this guy just shining us on are legitimate, but I do agree with the chairman that, let's wait 2 weeks and see if perhaps he doesn't lose the list again.
yeah.
I'm
They
okay
can't do
with,
much.
I'm
You
okay
really
with
can't
2
do much
weeks.
right now because of the everything's frozen. So, but yeah, if he keeps pushing us off, we can always start doing a fine to get his attention.
All right, so do you want me to email him tomorrow and say, the commission has given you 2 more weeks to get a consultant, but you must show up at the next meeting?
Yes,
I mean, I just want him to show the slightest bit of cooperation. Like, to me, it just seems like,
right. All right.
so is that okay if I email him that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Is that a consensus of the commission?
Yep. Uh-huh.
That
Yeah.
sounds good, yeah.
I'd like
Okay.
to make a motion on that, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. What might as well keep it formal.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that Colleen email the owner of 300 Union Street and that he needs to have a consultant hired by our next meeting and attend the meeting also so he can explain what occurred and what the process will be going forward and to do a restoration or resolve the issue.
All right, do you have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor? Bob,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes,
Carl,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you. All right, item C, 226 Russellville Road. Mr. and Mrs. Sheldon. Okay, I
This
saw
was
that they
the
were,
one that you went out with Casey?
yes,
Okay.
we went out there actually this afternoon. So and I thought Casey was going to join us, but I guess not. The problem is that there is water running off of a driveway at 232 Russellville Road, and that water is collecting on the road. There was supposed to be a culvert or a swale going north of this particular driveway, 232, along the front of 226. And that culvert then connects to the next property, which has an order of conditions from us. And then there is a head wall there and a culvert that then goes under the street to the other side of Russellville Road. For some reason, the swales at 232 and 226 were never completed. And also, Casey reminded me that neither of those properties requested a permit to put in the driveways from the DPW. So we went out there and looked at it today. And so they have, action against these properties as well. We do have an order of conditions that, that is still open. So this needs to be addressed because the ice is collecting on Russellville Road and, causing trouble there. I notice Mrs. Sheldon is here.
I am.
Oh, Bill, thank you.
Yep.
So you're at 226?
I built the house on 226 Russellville Road.
Okay. And did you put in the request for the adjacent property? The order, NOI?
The order, what is NOI? I
A
apologize.
notice of intent for the property
Yes.
north of you?
They're
'Cause I was
not
looking,
not north of us.
I mean, south of you. I'm sorry, south.
South. Okay. Yes.
Because I was looking at that plan where we had proved a crossing of the wetland about halfway up into the property.
Right.
Right. So that swale needs to be put back in there right at the base of the property because that water is just collecting on the road.
On 226.
Yes.
There's no on that head wall. There's no drainage going under the road there. That head wall does not drain, and the elevation is higher from where the water is coming down between 232 and 226.
Right.
Where it's going onto the road, it's higher by the 226 driveway mailbox headed towards that head wall. There's no way you can make the water go uphill. The water originally naturally went north to the other culvert, and they put that driveway in at 232 when they built that house. They never put a culvert under the driveway. That's the whole problem here,
Mhm.
and it's the easiest path. And the culvert that is on 226 and 224, there's a head wall there.
Right.
And the culvert, that's a 10-inch culvert in there, and that does not, it can't handle the water. It overflows. I have photos of it. I can email them to you where it's completely full all the way up to the road and going over the road. And that water has went over that road for 30 years there. And I have Carl Parcelli. He used to live there, and they had put in some sort of a drain to that other culvert, and it didn't work.
Okay.
So the water should go north, but there's a driveway there with an existing house. I have no way to cut in the driveway, and I can't stop the water because up behind that house that I built is the wetlands, and I can't redirect the water out of the wetlands. It's got to come down somewhere, but I can't make it go uphill. Also, I explained that to Casey. I met him out there.
Okay.
And I'm trying to work with him and try to find the easiest path of resistance. Back in May, they put a culvert under the road, just like 100 feet down. And I told him we had this water problem, and if he could tie everything in, but they budget or whatever, they couldn't do it. But the culvert on 224 Russellville Road does not flow. It's not going to handle the water. It's just going to go in the road. And for me to get that water, it'd have to be going uphill. It's got to go downhill.
So that culvert goes under Russellville to the other side, and there's a pipe that goes to the woods behind those other houses. Is that correct?
It doesn't. It's clogged under the road.
It is.
Yeah, I investigated the whole thing. They have not done any investigation at all, and I investigated the whole thing, and I have photos to prove it doesn't run. I can email those to you, and you can look at the photos, and you can see where the water's been coming over the road before I even built this house.
Right.
And
And I noticed at the head wall there was a black pipe going towards the head wall from your property, and also a
I-
green pipe.
The city put the green pipe in when Percelli across the road complained the water was going across the road. They
Okay,
came up in 2016 or 17. They put that pipe in. The black pipe is a 10-inch pipe, which I put under the driveway just to accommodate any flooding that would go on the edge of the lawn or whatever. And the drain from around the foundation goes into that, because I had to get that to daylight.
all right.
So that all works fine, and the pipe seems to handle that amount of water, but there's no way we can put all that water coming down in between those two houses. We can't put it, for one, going uphill,
Right.
and the other, it's got to go downhill through that other driveway. But I don't own that other property.
Right,
I don't own any of the properties anymore. I sold them
Okay.
all. So
All right. Well, Casey's going to be in touch with you again to try to solve the problem. So,
right, yep. And I've been trying to work with him on
okay.
it.
All right. Well, thank you. So I just wanted to give the commission an update on what was going on out there. So, the DPW seems to be the main player in the concern.
All right,
about-
he had said, Casey said he was going to talk to you, because in order for them to put a culvert going north, he was going to be within the buffer zone of the Wayne Coles wetlands project that happened, 4 or 5 years ago there. And he was going to be back into that to put that culvert through. But he said he was going to talk to you guys about it, but he's not here.
Right. Well,
All right.
again, he can request we do this as an emergency certification. Once he gives us his plan and his documentation.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I email you the photos of the other culvert and
Yes,
all that,
yes.
or do you want any of that, or no?
Yes, please send them to the commission, the conservation office,
Yep.
and Colleen can then catalog them for us.
Yeah, Mr. Sheldon, do me a favor. Can you call me tomorrow so I can give you my email address? Because I'm not sure what they have on the website, whether they still have Meredith's email or whether they've taken that down.
I believe we have Meredith's email, but
Yeah.
my wife will contact you tomorrow. And
Okay.
get that stuff over to you. And like I said, I'll work with him however I can, but we can't make the water go uphill, and we can't make it going under the road it's clogged. It is what it is.
Sure.
Right.
Well,
And
thank
I
you.
don't start work till 10, Mr. Sheldon. Don't call until
Okay.
after. So,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, sounds good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
well, thank you
All
for
right.
joining us.
Thanks, bye.
Okay.
Okay, so nothing has to be done on that.
No, we don't need a vote on anything right at the moment.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Item 6, discussion, 121 Summit Lock Road, emergency certification. We need to ratify this. And I was out there with Casey a few weeks ago. There's a lot of drainage around a business up there that was flooding the road, doing a blockage of a swale that goes behind the building. So he wanted, again, emergency certification for them to clean up the swale and make it viable again. And so we need to ratify the emergency certification. So we have a motion to that effect.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we ratify the emergency certification.
Or do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Yeah, if you go down Summit Lock Road, it's the first driveway to the left. It's the second business in, and there is a drain across the road with a grading on top of it that leads to the swale. And because of the blockage, the drain in the road was filling up and extending out over the road. So causing a lot of icing in the winter and a lot of flooding in the summertime. So I think it's a good thing that we could get the swale cleaned out so that the water can flow where it's supposed to go. And it does end up in a wetland behind the building. So All right, so we
Mr.
have-
Chairman, is
Yes.
this the swale that as you look at the building from the road, it's the long, fairly deep swale, maybe 4 feet, that runs between the buildings? As you look at the building, it's on the left side of the parking lot.
No,
Is it that
well,
swale?
if you're standing in the parking lot looking at the building, the swale is on the right-hand side of the building and then turns at the back of the building and goes behind it to the left into
Okay.
a wetland.
All right, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
We just need a
Right.
vote.
Okay, Bob,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes,
Carl,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and Tom,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you. Okay, item B, 224-226 Russellville Road. Request for certificate of compliance.
This was just to close out the NOI on the property apparently next to the one where where that flooding is taking place, where the issue is with the DPW. Is that what you said, David? That the plan that we gave, that where he crosses the wetland in the middle
Right.
of so that's not the same property where the DPW is having the issue, correct?
Right, but Casey asked me if we could not do this until the swale problem gets fixed.
Okay, so we're not going to issue the certificate of compliance.
Because of the potential violation from the DPW, I think we need to hold off on that.
All right.
When was this approved? How old is this approval?
Well, the work was never done
Right.
on the certificate,
But a home was built, yes?
no,
No, they
Oh.
applied to do the work, but they never did the work. And it was while Karen was still here. So it was at least 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because Karen left a little over 2 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Yep, if it's been a couple of years, I have no problem waiting another 2 weeks.
yeah.
Okay.
The city attorney also recommended that we hold off until this gets resolved.
All righty, I'll let the lawyer know tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Do you want the formality of a motion, David,
Yeah,
or?
do we need a motion?
Yes, let's do that. So, yes, we have a motion, please.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that for what we're identifying as 224 through 226 Russellville Road, that we do not issue a CFC at this time.
All right, you have a second?
I'll second that. Suggesting that we shall we continue this until our January 25th meeting, or is that too soon?
Well, we can continue it, and see if the work gets done before then, or the situation gets resolved with the DPW before then. And then we can go ahead and issue the certificate. Okay. So do you want to change that motion, Tom?
I don't see why. Why
Either
would
way,
I
I'm
change?
happy.
Okay, you're all set with it, Carl?
Yeah.
So you seconded it?
I'll second it as just not issuing the COC. Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Bob,
Yes.
Jim,
yep,
Carl,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
Tom,
I'll vote yes.
and Carl.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, item C, Columbia Greenway to Country Club Drive along Shaker Road.
Chair, I
So-
recuse myself from this portion.
Okay,
Time bond, it was a time bond project.
all right. So they're requesting the certificate. Again, this is a city project. You've got some photos.
I do, and bear with me, I'm sorry.
Okay,
So.
You're
Share.
doing great, Colleen.
Okay, is this a picture of a bunch of footprints in the
Yes,
railway
Yes.
that they put in?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so, and you can kind of see under the footprints that that's where they put the actual bike trail is.
okay,
Right there, and then that's, okay, so then stop share. Sorry, this is. Okay, and share. screen, and that's this one. And share. Okay, and this is looking down into where they have the, so can you see my mouse?
right.
Okay, so that's the riprap that they put in. And my only concern was like over here, you can kind of see the erosion controls are still in.
Okay.
So
But-
give me a second here. Oh,
But there is a note saying Mark would rather leave them there
yeah,
and take them out in the springtime.
yes. I went and talked to him and asked him about that. This was across the street because that was a little bit part of it. They put that guardrail in. So that was a little bit of the project. Okay.
Okay.
Hang on, I got share screen. Where is it? It was this one. So this is looking the opposite way of that first one. So it's looking more toward where the bike trail comes out. The bike trail comes out this way.
Okay,
Okay. And then the last one, I got a good picture of the erosion controls. Share screen. There. And then that's the erosion controls there.
okay.
Okay.
So, all right.
So again, I talked to Mark. He said his preference is to wait until the spring to take those out because he didn't want to cause more damage to the area.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion to approve the certificate of compliance.
I'll make a motion that we approve the certificate of compliance and that we allow the erosion controls to be removed in the spring after the thaw.
All right, do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, Bob,
Yes.
Carl,
Yes,
Jim,
Yeah.
Tom,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Okay, all right, welcome back, Alex. All right, item D, 0 South Meadow Road. I guess there was a concern.
That this could have, that the property that they're using for East Main Street could have been for the comp storage could have been an APR because it was marked in our open space book as being an APR. So I got a hold of the woman who is actually in charge of the APR. Her name is Tina Smith. She's in charge of it for the state through Mark Noonan. Thank you to him. And it is not an APR. It is mistakenly mapped as an APR. So I just wanted to put that out there because it was a question.
All right, thank you.
So
Just
Okay.
for the record, Colleen, Mark was also concerned in the same email that I sent you.
Right.
He was also concerned about the very last house on the left.
oh yeah,
Um,
with the stockpile in their yard.
House, yeah. And
Yeah.
he's in the flood zone, so that's something that we probably should send a letter out on,
Okay.
saying, hey, get rid of those, don't spread those.
Okay.
He's trying to chase his water and we shouldn't allow that. He's
Okay.
trying to chase it onto somebody else's property.
Okay, thank you. Item 7, other items, minutes from December 14. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes, approve the minutes of December 14, 2021?
I'll make a motion to that effect.
We have a second.
I'll second that.
All right, any additions or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor, Bob,
Yes.
Jim,
Yeah, it's okay.
Tom,
Yes, minutes are
Alex.
good.
Was not present, I abstain.
Okay, and Carl.
Yes.
All right, and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you.
David, at this point, could I jump in and take us back to Timber Swamp Road? I guess it's been, I don't know, maybe 3-4 weeks ago, it was brought to my attention that some irresponsible party dumped a whole mess of roofing tiles right in the middle of Timber Swamp. For those of you that don't know, it's a dirt road. It's real quiet. It's real woodsy on both sides. We were successful in getting it cleaned up with the help of the highway department, but also Jay Virgilio, who owns a construction company in that area, provided some equipment. So my suggestion is that we instruct Colleen to send out a thank you letter to both individuals for, this was a little bit of a pain in the butt because they couldn't take the roofing tiles to our, to the Twist Street facility. They had to go somewhere where roofing tiles go. So
Okay.
it became a little bit awkward, and I think we should show our appreciation to both gentlemen.
So it was Jay Virgilio, and who was the other one, Tom? Do you know?
I'm sorry.
Do you know who the other person I'd be sending
Yeah, his first name is Jay. His last name is
Yeah.
Virgilio.
Yeah, Jay. Who was the other one other than Jay?
Casey, who works for the highway department.
So Casey Berube from the DPW?
You got him. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's send him a thank you note.
okay.
All right, great. You want to make a motion?
Yeah, I will. I'll make a motion that we authorize Colleen to send a thank you note to Casey from the highway department and to Jay Virgilio for their efforts in cleaning up illegal dumping on Timber Swamp Road.
All right, you have a second.
I will
I'll second
happily
that.
second that.
All right, any further discussion? Seeing none. Bob,
Yes,
Jim,
Yeah,
Carl,
Yes.
Alex. All right, Tom.
Yes.
Okay, I'll vote yes as well. Thank you. All right, item 8, commission discussion. Okay, under A, regulations, again, Tom, Carl, and Cliff need to submit a letter of intention to the mayor. I think you had a deadline of January 7th, so,
Oh, whoops.
okay.
Double whoops.
Yeah, check your emails.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
sorry.
Your appointments expire next month. Okay. Item B, wetlands ordinance update. Again, we haven't heard anything from the city council. Again, their last meeting got interrupted by a mass concern. So I don't know when they're actually going to get to our ordinance on the subcommittee. Okay. Okay. I see Councilor Mello is with us this evening.
I am.
Yes. Would you be able to give us an update on where the ordinance is right now?
Well, I can tell you that the Natural Resources Committee was reappointed as it stood, so we will be moving forward with the law department. I have yet to have our first meeting scheduled, but I anticipate it within the next 1 to 2 weeks. So I can't give you more than that at the moment, but that's where we are now.
Will you?
I know does Councilor Oniski, do you have more about where that might be?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you could hear me very good or not, but.
Go ahead.
no, I
thank
can hear you good.
Thank you, appreciate it. It's in natural resources, so it'll, once it gets reviewed by natural resources, it will come out to full council for a vote, so. Got to go through the first step and then it'll come out to city council. So it wouldn't be, well, it depends on when you have the meeting and how quickly it gets completed through subcommittee.
Will you be requesting someone from the commission at your subcommittee meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay. Will that be in person or remote?
Remote.
Okay. All right, thank you. You'll, again, contact Colleen when you know the dates.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. And Council Oniski, congratulations on your election to council chair.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Item B, tree replacement policy. Again, Colleen mailed them out, so add them to your book, your handbooks. So that was a big accomplishment. Item C, invasive species management plan for the Pattoniac property. Again, this is a property that Meredith and I looked at last year in conjunction with the Audubon representative. And I guess there's a site visit out there with a representative from the university January 26th. So anybody would like to come out and talk about the restoration of that really nice field, and that's where it's going to be. Again, it's on Northwest
Is this the
Road.
one with was this the one with the invasive bittersweet, et cetera?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I would be interested in that, Mr. Chairman. So
Okay,
when Colleen knows, just let us know.
I'll
Well-
keep you apprised.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, January 26th at 10:30 a.m.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's near the, it's up down the road a little bit from the entrance to the camp, to the Y camp. It's in that area. Coordinator position, we have no applicants.
Did I hear that right? No applicants?
No applicants. I talked to Mr. Bishop a couple days ago, and he's trying to get the mayor to request some funds from the city council to post this on other websites that have, I guess, a better clientele, that actually look at them. But right now, the latest was that we have no applicants. But he said that's for many city positions. They don't have applicants either. So it's not just us.
Do you know, Mr. Chairman, if he's contacted MACC? to
Yeah,
see
it's
if
on the
they have-
MACC site. I've seen it there.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yep, it is. And I guess they're requesting those funds on the next council meeting on the 20th. So hopefully, if it's approved, we can, they can work out, using the funds to get on some of the more, I guess, the more looked at websites as far as jobs are concerned. So.
Mm.
I'm kind of surprised that we can't belly up to the bar with some of our conservation monies to place ads in the paper for administrative help. Has anyone thought of that or looked into that? I mean, we've got a pretty good war chest.
Well, you're right. We have money, but I'm not sure if it can be used for that purpose. We'd have to check with the law department, I guess.
Well, it's auditing that tells us really what we can use it for, and I'll email them tomorrow and find out. I'm unsure if that's something that's on the list of things that we can use it for, so
It is.
I'll email them tomorrow and find out.
Thank you, Colleen. It is a pretty reasonable idea, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's excluded.
It is. He said it's just a tough time to be looking for, people for these positions in.
David,
How long has it been out? How long has it been out there, David?
I think since the middle of December,
Okay,
December 15th, it went out.
so it's almost a month.
Yep, it's almost a month, but it's a tough time of the year with the holidays and so on. But if you look on the MACC site, there's more than 30 other towns looking for somebody too. And some of them are offering more money than we are.
How far off are we on the competitive salary?
I think I looked at Bourne and that was over 70,000.
I did see Bourne, yeah. What are we
And
offering?
We're less than that. So
How much less?
in the 60s.
Have we advertised locally? David,
What's
do you
that?
know that? I mean, I'm kind of old fashioned, but did we put it in the newspaper or any of that?
Oh, yes.
stuff that-
I
We
guess
did.
by
It has
city,
to.
by city ordinance, it has to go into the local newspapers as well.
So
I
it's been in
saw
there
it,
one
Tom, in the
time, or
paper.
once or twice or three times, or?
I'm not sure how many times, but I,
Would it be
my impression for
possible?
what he said is that most people don't look at newspapers anymore. They're looking at these online sites. And he's put it already on the free ones, but on the ones that cost money, he hasn't been able to do that yet.
Has he put it on LinkedIn for that particular type of position?
He did mention 3 of them when we started this process, but they were ones that did not cost anything. I don't remember the exact names, but he did.
Well, I
say-
guess there's a message there. If it doesn't cost anything, we're not getting anything.
Yeah. So that's why he's requesting we get some money approved for this position and other positions in the city as well, not just us. So
Couldn't you investigate, Mr. Chair, though, or is this on LinkedIn for this particular, professional position?
I can check tomorrow. So I don't subscribe to those things, so I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
LinkedIn is. Right? So
And I
Yeah,
guess I'd wait and
Dave-
see if he's putting through several positions to city council, we might as well wait and see how that shakes out, but it's probably worth Colleen checking in the interim as well for Tom's suggestion to see if we
Right.
got a backup plan with our NOI fees. That was a good suggestion by Tom. It'd be nice to
Yes.
be able to go that route if we have to.
Do you know if we, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna, again, compliment and praise David for the role that he's playing. He's kind of being our administrator at this point. Can you tell us what the state of the union is? Are we in trouble yet? Or, I mean, is there a correlation that there are no NOIs tonight? No RDAs tonight? Or is that just a coincidence?
it's a coincidence. It's a quiet time, I think, because of the season.
It's definitely a coincidence because I can tell you that we do have one new NOI coming up for the 25th.
We do, okay.
We do.
I mean, there's 2 big
Oh.
things looming in the future. There's the Target, and then there's the data center.
Yeah.
And
Is Colleen drowning yet?
I don't think so, not yet. Pretty.
Not yet.
But when those big ones come in, we're going to need help.
Yes.
I'm not qualified to handle that stuff. And we can. I've looked at the Target, the environmental notice form that they had. They're gonna clear cut, and then they're gonna cover a large area with asphalt. Just like the car place wanted to do down in Southwick, with huge numbers of trucks coming in and out every day. But they haven't said anything to us yet, so we can't really respond to it. I did get a letter from a concerned citizen about it on my city email, but I haven't really mentioned it because it's not before the commission yet. So, but
Well,
the state,
something like that, it certainly is within our purview to hire outside help at the applicant's expense.
oh, definitely, yes.
I would expect that we would want to play that card if we're still not staffed.
And there's a contact person at the state agency, and I did telephone and left a message. I haven't got a response back yet, so just to see what the status is of the Target plan. So
I heard a rumor that there was an exodus at DEP, that some of our familiar names are no longer there. Some of the Davids, and anybody know anything about that? Alex, you know anything?
Dave Fowlis retired. Mark Stinson's on extended leave. So there is somebody who replaced them or taking over temporarily. And Colleen has that contact information. So we know who to talk to at the state.
Yeah, we also Ty and Bond just lost a talented young environmental scientist who's been in front of this board a few times. She's joining Western Region, Mary Zawatsky. So she'll actually be on the regulatory side.
Oh, really?
So, yep.
Is she taking Mark's position?
I'm not. I don't believe so.
Okay,
Maybe a junior version of David's position.
okay,
More of an analyst in the office
okay.
than the.
Yeah, we
circuit
need the
rider.
help. Yeah.
So,
Can we get you to post this job opening at your front door, Alex?
right on the glass?
Yeah.
I think Melissa would kill me if I caused her to lose another young staff member who was talented.
We'll keep you out of it. All you have to do is tape it to the window.
All I got to do is tape it,
Yeah. Okay,
post it as
All right.
anonymous.
so I have
Just
nothing
make
to
sure
say
your
about the screening
fingerprints aren't in
committee
the
because
tape.
we have nothing to screen at the moment, so.
Okay, I do have one other thing that just came up just before the meeting. So it's come to my attention that we have not voted in our chairman and vice chairman, and apparently that used to be done yearly. Now, I've been here 5 years and we have not done it in the whole 5 years, except for Jim, of course. So I don't know if you want to restart doing that, as in we vote in our chairman and our vice chairman every year, or if you want to just go on as we've been going on. It's up to you guys.
I would make a motion that we reappoint David Doe and Jim to continue in their roles as chair and vice chair.
Unless somebody else wants to do it.
I'll second that motion.
I'll third it.
All right. How about you, Jim? You want to take over?
No, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, though. I think you're doing a very good job, David.
Well, I'm
And
trying.
I'm impressed with how you handle things. So thank you.
All right. Well, somebody needs to make a motion then.
We did, and it was
Yeah, they
seconded.
first and second, we got to vote now.
Okay.
Carl even put a third on it. So
That's right.
I can't vote for myself though. All right, go ahead, vote.
I'll vote yes. Tom Sharp votes yes.
All right.
I'll
Bob?
vote yes.
yeah,
I'll vote yes.
I'll vote
Okay,
yes
Alex?
as well. Yep.
All right. Well, that's
And
3 out of
that's the
5.
quorum there.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. You got
Yeah,
you got
that's
four. You
4
got
out
a
of
quorum.
5, so.
Okay. All righty. All right, so that's good for another year.
Yeah, and thank you to both David and Jim for their willingness to continue.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
And I
we'll
was
see how
going
it
to
goes.
ask if we can use any of our NOI funds to buy scuba gear for Colleen's. Keep her from drowning.
I'm not
Yeah,
drowning yet, but it's gonna start, because as soon as those NOIs start rolling in, it's gonna get tough. So,
Mhm.
You know?
Colleen, you're doing a great job, and
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
my only concern with it is that, like, I only work 19 hours a week, and I can only work 19 hours a week. So like trying to get stuff done in that 19 hours is gonna get tough. So
Yeah.
as of now, I'm doing okay, but it's gonna, yeah.
Okay,
So just.
we'll manage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If this process drags on, is there a willingness on Colleen's part and then an ability to make a temporary change, like an interim coordinator? You don't have to answer on the record now, Colleen. That would be a side conversation if you even wanted to do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know if we could make an interim appointment that would then lift Colleen's hourly cap if we got to the point where we just needed the administrative muscle to keep going.
Or we could get somebody with wetlands experience in temporarily.
Or if Colleen didn't want to do that or whatever,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Sure.
And so maybe we need to turn the gears on that a little bit too, as
Right.
we head in, if we're not getting any bites on this posting right now.
I'll mention that to Mr. Bishop next time I see him.
Okay, oh, and the other thing is that, I need people to sign, I'm out of signature pages, so I'll need people to come in and sign, or again, I'm willing to meet people places too, so just letting you know.
Okay,
So, I have a schedule that needs to be signed. David, I'm gonna need you to come in at least on Thursday or Friday to sign payroll and to sign a change form for me, and everybody else, I need it for the COCs, the COCs we did, the RDA that we passed tonight, and Cation went through. So yeah, so that's it. So I'll need you guys to come in and sign those things. So that's all. Or
When do you
again,
need-
I'm willing to meet you guys places too if you need me to.
When do you need that done by?
Well, the RDA, I want to try and get it out as soon as possible because they have 10 days after it's signed that they still have to wait before they can start work. So I like to try and get that out as soon as possible so that they don't have to wait more than, an excessive amount. So NOIs, we only have 21 days to get them out. But RDAs, I'm not sure if they're different or the same. I'll have to look into that.
Okay.
So,
let's just try to get there within a couple days. Okay,
Colleen, earlier you mentioned, or you requested of the neighbor, the gentleman who was filling in for the COVID guy.
yeah.
You requested that he send you directly to your email so that it didn't go to Meredith's. Now, we are still checking Meredith's email, correct? Not correct?
I don't think her email is even like up and running. They shut her off. Do you know what I mean?
Is Peter?
But isn't
Who's
it
that?
forwarded as a matter of course to somebody that they can? I mean, you would be the logical person to take forwarded emails from her or
Usually
to her
accounts get
attention.
forwarded. Is Peter there?
Peter? Okay.
okay.
But
I'll
that
find
would
out.
be typical though, right, Peter?
Yeah.
I mean. Okay. So does it give a bounce back message usually? Okay, so it doesn't give them a new email. All right.
Right.
Well, they would not. Okay. I mean, there must be some other process that, okay, so so I email Meredith, I get a bounce back that says theoretically she's no longer with the city. Please contact Colleen at email,
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what Peter just got through. Colleen, if you can reach out tomorrow and figure that out,
I will.
we should
I will.
definitely be not
Thank you.
totally cutting it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
And Colleen or Peter, I think that the technology allows it's seamless. I think that if you give I think if I send an email to Meredith, you can have it automatically routed to you or to someone else. I will ask the same question about her cell phone. If I call that cell phone number, what happens? I leave a message, I want to build a house. Is anybody getting that message?
no, the
just
cell
be
phone
cut
is
off,
sitting in
right?
the conservation office.
No,
There it
it's
is.
right here.
Yeah, oh, Colleen's got it. Okay,
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, I have it because I worked from home today.
okay,
So, and yes, I've been checking the messages, the phone messages on it and the phone messages on her extension. So,
Good.
okay. Anything else?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to add one thing that Carl and I did a site visit at the Westfield sewer treatment plant.
Okay,
And the individual who's representing that division of the city asked us to take a look at an area that may or may not have been or could have been at one time maybe part of an oxbow for the Westfield River. We did look at it. observed certainly a deep swale. If they do some construction, he did say that it would be flagged as a wetland, if I recall, Carl. And then, and we did notice some old growth trees within the swale. But beyond that, we did let the individual know, and I'm sorry, I forgot his name, that we were not there to, approve any delineation or anything as to exactly what they would say that was. You think that's a fair statement, Carl, for the record?
Yeah, I think so. Clearly the issue was it essentially an extinct oxbow, in which case it was a wetland, or was it an active stream, which would mean that there's a larger buffer around it? And if there were a larger buffer around it, that would definitely interfere with the building. And so it's kind of a critical decision as to what that thing is. And yeah, I'm afraid I'm not really qualified to judge that. Was I think the big problem.
Yeah, I agree. And I believe that by what you explained, Carl, that would also make it, if it is a stream or some kind of an active stream or intermittent, it would make it riverfront area, I think.
Right.
So anyways, Carl and I, just for our records and for the public record, we looked at it, that was about it. And they would have to bring in a proper civil engineering and a wetland scientist in to look at this thing and dig deeper.
Mhm. Right. I mean, if they want to do anything, they at least need to do an RDA.
Right.
So we have something to look at,
Mhm.
and then, go out and check a delineation and then go from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Jim, do we need to tell them that? Do we need to send them a letter saying, hey,
You could do that, but Carl and I told them that. I think, Carl, I think they flagged that as a wetland, didn't they? Did we see some flags?
Now I'm trying to remember whether it was flagged as a wetland. If it was, if it was, they were older flags, so that I'm not sure how old that flagging was. So it might very well need to be reflagged and reassessed.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So to respond to Tom, I have no problem, if we want to send a letter to them, that we did do the site visit, that any future work would have to follow the normal protocol of an RDA or an NOI, with the proper engineering and environmental information attached, so we can then react to it formally. How's that sound?
Do you want me to send them a letter, or do you want me to send them an email? Because I've been in touch with him via email.
Yes, do an email. I think that's the quickest way to do it.
Okay. Yep.
All right. And Jim, I'll listen to what you said and I'll put that exactly in the email.
Okay. Carl, do you want to add anything to that? You okay with that?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anything else? All right. Just acknowledge. Okay. So Colleen has access to it.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
Okay. Because you have her passwords and that she used on the phone and on the computer.
There was no password on the phone and not on the computer either, so I will, not on the laptop. I'll check. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think she did leave me a password thing, a little sheet.
Yeah, she told me she would leave it on the desk.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
if it needs department approval, then Jay would just have to say, yes, basically he approves it staying open and then being in your custodial control for now until we have a new agent. And I think that's the appropriate way, because if we don't do that, it might just get shut off at some point and we have the same problem. So I
Right.
would still go through the tech center. That way we know it's not going to vaporize on us.
All right, thank you. I'd like to thank the counselors for joining us and the newest school committee member, Kathleen Hillman. Okay, finally, number 9, we have a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Bob,
Yes.
Carl,
yes.
Jim,
Yeah.
Tom,
Yes.
Alex,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Thank you, and good night.